Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Antonia. I'm a third year medical student and today I have an exciting video. This video is in collaboration with Medify. If you haven't heard of them, they're basically an online resource that you can use for everything to do with getting into medical school in the UK. I did a video with them last year, I'll link it up here somewhere, about using their UCAT online course. And today we're going to talk about Medify's personal statement services. So for anyone applying to medical school, it's really important that you get your personal statement perfect. It's a big part of the application process. While some medical schools will look at it more than others, it's probably the best way to showcase you a bit more than just your academics. So it's really important that you get this right, and Medify are here to help. With personal statement services from Medify, there are 3 services, which are personal statement writer, personal statement content review, and personal statement English review. Medify actually let me try out some of their new personal statement tools, so I just thought I'd tell you guys a bit about them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the personal statement writer, and this is absolutely perfect, especially if you're really struggling to actually start your personal statement. I think starting your personal statement can be really daunting, and sometimes you just don't know what to write down, so this is absolutely perfect if this applies to you. Essentially, Medify's personal statement writer just provides you with some pages which all link to sections that you should aim to include in your personal statement, such as a section on why medicine, a section on your work experience, etc. And it has a place for you to just type and put some free text in, and then it has some tips via video, so there's a video for each section, and there are written tips as well, just about the sorts of things to include in each section. And there are actually also little snippets of personal statements and what they've actually written. Obviously, don't copy these because UCAS actually has a plagiarism bank, and if it detects plagiarism, then they'll contact you and you could potentially end up losing your chance to get any offers, so just beware of that. But it's really nice to see it actually written down, so you can see how different people interpreted a section and how they've decided to actually write that in their personal statement. I think this is really good as well if you're just trying to get ideas down as well, because you have that place where you can type. You can write down all of your ideas and then start to organize them and see which sections they fit best with, and try and come up with a draft. I'd really recommend the personal statement writer. The next section is the personal statement content review. Once you've got a draft together, this next section will be really useful to you. Coming into medical school, I was quite fortunate that I had some science teachers and my parents who read over my personal statement, but I know other people had to rely on teachers that didn't necessarily have that medical insight into what a personal statement for medicine is supposed to look like, so this is really useful. You send your personal statement to Medify, and 2 reviewers actually go through it and read it all through, give you some constructive criticism, and then send it back to you. It's marked against similar domains and sections that you use in personal statement writers, so again, work experience, motivation to study medicine, extracurriculars, and things like that. I wanted to actually test out this software, and I sent in one of my drafts of my personal statement to Medify to see what would actually happen. It was a really quick turnaround. I believe it took about a week to get my personal statement back. The feedback is in depth, and that's one thing that's really nice. Even when you get your personal statement marked by teachers or read over by teachers and doctors, it can be difficult for them to sometimes give you really in-depth and detailed feedback that you need to make some changes, but that is definitely not an issue with Medify's. You get literal paragraphs to read on each section of your personal statement, which is so helpful, especially when you've got your first drafts and you're not really sure if you're writing in the right direction or if your point is coming across to whoever's reading it. And the fact that you also obviously don't know who's marking your personal statement makes it very objective. One thing I really liked about it is you get percentages from each marker, so you can see where maybe there's a difference in opinions. Once you've got your feedback back, you can make your changes and you can actually send it off for another remark for a slightly cheaper price than it is to actually send off your initial one. If you want Medify to have another look through a newer draft and see whether you're getting a point across a bit better, then you can do that as well. Your personal statement also gets rated from A to E English wise as well, so it gives you a brief little overview of your use of English in your personal statement, which again, people neglect this a lot, but that is a really important part of having a good personal statement. If it reads well, then people are more likely to be engaged with it and connect with you a bit more, try and get to know you a bit more through your statement. So it's really important to check that. Honestly, if you're in the stage where you have a draft, I'd really really urge you to start having people look over that now. So definitely check out Medify's content review. And the last personal statement tool Medify have to offer is the personal statement English review. I mentioned briefly in the content review section that Medify grades your draft personal statement from A to E based on English use, and I did touch on how it's really important for your personal statement to read well. But the Medify English review takes it one step further to make sure that your English actually sounds perfect, as perfect as possible. Again, similar to the content review, you send off your personal statement, and this time two English teachers actually read through your personal statement and just check for spelling, punctuation and grammar issues, which when you're writing something, I do have it with my essays that I write for med school, sometimes you'll be reading through something and it sounds perfectly fine to you, and you get someone to proofread it for you and you realize you've made loads and loads of easy, silly grammatical mistakes. So this is really, really good to just get someone, again, objective, to read through your personal statement and make sure that your grammar and your spelling is absolutely perfect. These reviews come back within 2 days, so again, it's a fast turnaround. I was gonna say it's like the icing on the cake for your personal statement, but it's actually the foundation of your personal statement. Without good spelling, punctuation and grammar, it actually doesn't matter what the content of your personal statement is. You're already making it harder for the examiner or the admissions tutor to actually read your personal statement and enjoy it. So it's good to get on top of that and check that it's absolutely perfect. And that is all about Medify's personal statement services. I hope this has been useful if you were thinking about applying to medicine. Like I said, personal statement is a really, really key part of your application, and it can be kind of hard to do on your own. So definitely look into Medify and see whether they are the right fit for you when you're writing a personal statement. I'll leave a link to Medify's page and like all their personal statement services down below. I'll have like their prices and things up there as well. Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to subscribe. If you want any other videos, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.